mess with us, you mess with all of us. Because now the rhetoric of, oh well, you know, like Kona, like saying, oh well, Kona's skin complexion is because a European did X, Y, Z to their ancestors. Now we're not tolerating that. We're not tolerating that fiction and those lies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we at a point of no return, man. We have nothing to lose. We've been everything has been taken from us.
I guess the thing that really gets me is the automatically because of the of your skin tone. Oh, you mixed. Well, honestly, I am, but there's lots of people from Africa that are fairer skinned from Africa, right? That are 100% African with fairer skin. So let's stop all of this parsing. You know what I
You know
Exactly.
mean?
what? We are mixed within our own tribes. They are
That's
mixed with
right.
same bloodline. That's a whole different ball game right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where their recessiveness comes from. But go ahead, finish, God. It's my bad.
No, you good. I landed my plane. I'm just sick of that. It's like what you think because you were born, bred, raised generations on the continent of Africa that no one, everybody is, you know, they got a smile wide for you to see them. That's not true.
Yes, but it's true. And the thing is too, like that's like people don't like. That's why I put a post up
All
about
right,
the
I'm
hair.
back. What you
I put
say?
I was saying I was posting up about the hair types in America. For instance, like David, you and I have different.
Darvid.
David, my bad. I'm sorry, David. Excuse me. So David, you and I both indigenous. So a lot of my roots is from the deep south.
It's on my
I'm talking about the Americas.
over 5,000 cows on the land. Yeah,
Documented.
that's right. In America.
Yeah. So
No, we're not all documented.
I'm
Like
just saying.
like the government said that the Yamasi was extinct. No, the fuck we're not.
Mm, I didn't know that.
No, like yeah, we have over 5,000 tribes on the land, but most of them are outlaw tribes because they don't deal with the government.
Mm.
Like they ain't getting no casinos and no checks or no reservations or none of that
You didn't sell out.
because they're outlaw tribes.
I was gonna
Hold
say they
on,
didn't
hold on.
sell out.
That's right.
See, see, when you go to those camps,
No, 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 no. See, we're not getting it because these people got our records. These people have been going into our trust. They have been building their whole casinos and their little 7-Elevens and shit off of our money. They don't want you to know that. It ain't got nothing to do with, yeah, of course we ain't no sellouts or whatever. But the whole point is we're supposed to be running these reservations. Nobody's supposed to be using our personal info to pretend to be us. So
correct.
these people have been acting as beneficiary and trustee over our shit. That's what they've been doing. Go ahead, sister. You want to say something?
Yes, darling. I was trying to pull this list up real quick to show just that this list I have, but there's plenty of these lists for the like the the Bureau of Indian Affairs list. Let's say that. So when they started, we'll say that. Now, in this one particular list, I was trying to find the right one to show you guys because I want to show how they took these people and created their David, I don't know if you could let me share the screen, sweetheart. Let me try to pull my screen up backwards. Where they took them and you can see who these people are that they turned into Indians. Let me see. It's not letting me. Let me see. Okay, there it is. It wasn't letting me do the camera. I'm trying to now. It's not letting me flip it. Not letting me save it. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so if you can see here, let's first off, I want y'all to see what this is. It says mission, etc. This is for a mission. right? Mind you, I wanted to pull up a book, but there's so many of them. Books where they talk about the Indian agents that were placed into the different tribes, shows their fees, how much they were paid, what tribe they were in, and everything. Let me just say that that's a 1,000% fact. This here is a proof of that, and I just want to show. This is one of the Indian census rolls. It says the Jacinto, I believe it's Jacinto Training School. Now, mind you, if you're not familiar with Indian training schools, most of us up here are, but those that doubt it, just so you understand, these schools were training camps for these agents to allow these agents to come in so they could replace us, just like the sis just said. The Bureau of Indian Affairs is a plot to assist with stealing the land, right? Another one of the government organizations, and replacing it by giving some of the land to these different agents and people, including government agents, because we won't get into that, because there's also a list of some of the so-called government officials that were in partnership with these different banks and things in these land banks and taking land, even though it was public so-called land, they were putting them in their private property. That's a whole nother story. But either way, as we see right here, this one right here just says that the agency was in California. The agency, right, was in California. So it says right here, this was in 1904. Recapitulation, which we know what does that mean? In lame terms, it's talking about organizations that develop things. It's something in effects of developing, like certain things are in stages and trying to develop different things. So this is development of these Indian camps, right, in these reservations. This is all part of that. So here we go. It's showing the agents, how many people were there, males, females, so on and so forth. I'm gonna go down because I want y'all to see these names so we can see who these Indians were that they were putting in, that were in the training schools. Okay, this is a Indian name, so-called Indian name. Then we're gonna look at the so-called English name. So we have the Juanita Razan, Petro, Simona, Matilda, Dominga. Don't sound like Indian names to me. Let's continue. This is one record, y'all. Juan Ramona, Cantana, the Mongo, Juan. Okay, we see Charlie. Now, some of these names are mixed with our people, you know, because some of them were probably, let's say, how can I say it, raised up into some of these camps after their parents were more than likely unalived. So they were blended in with these different tribes and so on and so forth. So we won't get into that because they were raised up, but some of these people have different names too. But most of them, as you see, are just Juan and Jose, and just to make sure y'all can see it, Pedro. These are the names of these agents, and it's letting you know that they were from the Indian Training School, San Jacinto Training School in 1904. They had to graduate to be agents, to be participants in the reservations for these tribes. This is just showing that, you know, them right there. Okay, I'll just let y'all look at them real quick. And just to go back, hold on, that's enough of that. Let me just show y'all how many of them it was. See, these are all Indian records, guys. All these are different Indian records. All the records for all the different tribes. You go to a different one. I mean, it's no different. Let me show y'all how many it is. All these different people. Then when you look at these names, you can tell the ethnic background of these people by most of the names, right? And there's so many records. So many. See all the records they got?
Okay.
Not to mention the records that they don't let us see that's hidden in the Utah mountain, but that's a whole nother story too. I'm sure people are familiar with that. Some people, us that do this research, we know about it. But just so you guys know, there are plenty of our records that are hidden in the Utah mountain. Okay, and you have to go and make an appointment to actually be able to see these particular records. I tried to do it last year. You know, I didn't get enough participants, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, see all these records? It's plenty of them. Plenty to go. Plenty to come. Plenty to go. There's one in Kansas as well. There's one in Kansas and Utah. Hemp. That's just to show you guys that, you know, these training camps for these paid agents that are now replacing us, just like Receipt God has said, they have whole, what do you call it? Where you can look up your family name and find out whether or not you have a trust or any funds that were set up from them. Some of them may be in there, even though they have them on these reservations. A lot of our people were still in them. A lot of them didn't want to participate, so their names never went under the Dawes roll or any of that. They kept to themselves and mind their business, stayed away from these dang people, like a lot of us like to do now. So that's nothing neither here nor there.
Yo, that's crazy. They're all Filipino and Mexican.
You said we know who these people are, right?
And it's like we have to now. We got to go. We got the whole, and I followed you, sister. Sister, I followed you. So, I definitely gonna need you to DM me that because I want to definitely do more homework on that. I could probably just go over the census records because now
Go to archives.
the archives.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
What
go
I
to
got?
archives, see all that.
Can you all show me the
Let me
face
show you.
of those
Go
people
right
that
here, right? When you go to the archives, let me show you what you're gonna go to.
Okay.
You're gonna go right and put in the records right here. See, this is the title: Indian Census of the United States,
Got it.
1885 to 1940, and it goes to each list. I just and just save it. Just for your own reference, right? When you pull it up, right, go over here to the side and you can save it as a favorite. I don't know if you have an account or not, but I have an account. So I save certain things, or I'll make certain lists. Like I have a list for Aboriginal information, whatever, just for your own convenience. And like I said, you can go through them. Each one, when you pull it up, it's gonna show. It's. I haven't even been able to go through these things, and I've had this list for years. It's just so many of them. I can never go through all of them. And then there's so many pages. I'm just gonna pull up another random one real quick, and then I'm gonna release the mic for anyone to speak. But I want to show y'all again. So here's another one real quick. Same thing. We have a different name depending on the year. Some of them are so old that they have them handwritten. Agnes, Rose.
Can you show me
Who
the
got
face
next?
of those
Fred.
people?
I just want to hold on a second, David, please. Fred, Charlie, Agnes, Rose, Tom. Like those sound like what kind of names? Okay. They'll say, "Oh, y'all took them English. Them English people came here and took our name. When they came here, they couldn't even speak the language. They couldn't even pronounce the names that were given to them because there's actually a video showing them on the boat coming across and them actually giving them the name. And what you say the name was again? Yeah, they had to learn to speak the name so they could take that rollover. This is why Trump was going through this thing telling people that people are getting Social Security with from 300 years, they're 300 years old or whatever. No, we're talking about back in the 300 years ago when these people were taking our ancestors' Social Security numbers, which meant it went back to certain pensions and things, especially through the railroad stocks, the bonds, all the things that they had, their businesses, the banks, Wildcat Bank, it's just so much stuff that they have taken from us and turned it around and twisted it, acting like, oh, you poor slave bums, y'all ain't never had nothing when we had everything. And I get so tired of people playing with us and acting like we don't know anything and we don't know any better. And there's too much proof. Study to show yourself approved, right? Approved in your mind for information so you don't have to worry about what somebody else says, but you know it for yourself. That's why we can get up here and we can be so adamant. This is why we can get up here and we can be so firm about what we say. This is why we get up here and sometimes we get annoyed and aggravated. Man, I be wanting to go out, but I just have to leave sometimes because I know people just ignorant because they don't want to take the time to read and study. And they want to go against people and be opposing, or they're just simply an agent. So I don't waste my time with you people. But there's too much proof. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think you mentioned the railroad pension, right? I'm a train operator by day, so I'm in the subway. So like when you go to the railroads, right? They have something called a railroad pension. You get to you could actually, if you have a wife or a significant other, when you retire after 30 years, they get a half a pension, and you can give your kids a survivorship, and you forfeit Social Security. See, this is what people don't know. That so when Trump is passing that things down, a lot of us did work on the railroad. For instance, my grandmother's father was one of the first dark people to work on the Long Island Railroad when it was private, and you know, a lot of that stuff was kept from us back then. So when they go and take those pensions, yeah, they take our survivorships, they take our trust. There's things that they keep from us. And that's why they make you take a signal exam every year. If you fail, you lose your job. Because remember, they indoctrinate you from young to be able to do it with your eyes closed. I'm third generation on rails.
All right, thank you,
Yes.
no Corner. Can we get everybody to type the screen to 40K? And we also have Owen alive who would like to speak as well.
Yeah, we
I
got
was
yeah.
gonna say real quick, Bree. I'm gonna drop down. I appreciate you letting me come back up. Thank you, everyone. This has been very educational. Thank you.
No problem.
Y'all take care.
Yeah, we got yeah. If anybody that hasn't spoke wants to speak, go ahead.
All right.
Oh,
All right. Peace, panel. Peace, panel. Um,
Uh-huh.
please.
I,
um,
I would like to ask the young lady.
David,
that was,
somebody's David. Come on, dude. You heard somebody speaking. Let him speak. Go ahead.
peace, peace. First, I'm gonna try to respond to the prompt. Can you prove that you're a descendant of slave trade? All right. Um, so as you can hear, I'm from the West Indies, Jamaica to be specific. Um, so seeing that the West Indies is always being attacked, that um, slaves from Africa was sent to the West Indies. Um, one would think that in my lineage there should be some African express somewhere. So coming to New York was the first time I heard that we was descendant of Africans. That's never heard that being in Jamaica, you know. So growing up, now seeing that genealogy was the order of the day, um, I went searching. You know what I'm saying? Because I never heard that before. I always knew that we was Arawaks, even though they said that the Arawaks was died out or extinct. You know, there was an interesting tale. So, matter of fact, I even went to do my genealogy just because, just yeah, I'm a little out of breath. So just because the fact that I read about Mensa Musa being the wealthiest man in the world, I was like, oh shit, if I'm from Africa, I at least want to know if I'm related to that guy. So I went searching. So up in searching, I came to realize that not only I couldn't find uh, any African lineage or attachment to us or any of my family being slaves, I found that my my family was owners of acres of lands. You know what I mean? We were coffee planters um, and banana planters. Um, also, also, after learning a lot that even the name of Jamaica wasn't named until the 1800s. It was a Spanish county from before the 1600s. Jamaica was, we spoke Spanish before we spoke English. And before Spanish, it was our Arawakan language. Uh, so, um, so, and my family name is Mays, right? And we're Jackson. So Jackson, Mays, and Christie, right? So none of those um, names was had any connection to uh, being being slaves, but owners of land. And yes, we had people working on the plantations, I guess, as indentures, right? Um, in addition, I learned about New York. Um, I know that my family were people who always traveled to and fro to New York. We traveled to upstate New York because we were planters of apple. We were apple farmers up here in New York. Um, and in Florida we was planters of orange, right? So I know that um
Take your time. I know how it is going through the history and talking about it.
that
Mhm.
it's just a few things that I've came to understand, and try not to pay attention to, you know,
Yeah.
people trying to impose the African narrative, especially on the West Indies, and try to swipe away the trade that happened within the West Indies
Uh,
between South Carolina.
yeah. Can you start landing the plane, please? Like you're about to start killing the live. I'm not gonna lie.
I apologize. So um I just I will leave it there. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, like I get certain people talk slow, but I'm not gonna lie. When it starts getting to a point, never mind, let me not even go on the goddamn tangent. But yeah, like people talk slow and long. Y'all start killing the live.
No,
I'm no like no. There's nothing to defend right now. I'm just letting you know. Uh yeah, learn to make your point faster.
It's okay. Hey, can I present this if you don't mind?
now do your thing.
Let me show y'all something a little bit. All right, let me fix it. Y'all know the screen then just blipped up on me. All right, so peep game. So boom, like I say, you see this name? This name translated means Morocco. They talking about how they went to Ontario
What's up,
and mass,
grandson?
you know what I'm saying, you know, immigration. Okay. So who these people is? Let me show you. See that? These the ones that's on these reservations right now. See that? Yeah, that's them. Okay.
What's up, Frenchie?
You see this? This is a whole video of these people. They say in Morocco, right? But it's in Utah. Okay. Moroccan caves. All right. Y'all need to look up.
Rocking caves.
Morocco Canyon. Yeah. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, 90% of it is just like not touched. I see why, right? And then I overheard one of these Moroccans come and say, yeah, well, we got 7 states. Mm-hmm. Right? Look at these little musty corridors though. Like, what the let me see, where is that? Here goes some more. Y'all can look it through the encyclopedia. Y'all see that? That's what these people was doing. You see how they say the late 18th century? That was around like around the time of independence too. That's what their Thanksgiving was about. Let me show y'all some more of this shit. Cause I was just like, wait, whoa, what? Yeah. Here go another one. Hold on, they won't let me push it from there. Lease land, they do. I'm telling you, bro, these Moroccans, they signed over 2,800 trees. I've said this multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody promised them our land, and somebody put these people. Matter of fact, they was wearing fezzes.
Everybody like to laugh.
Like, yeah, let's get 50. Let's go up to 50,000.
Huh?
No, I was telling folks to get the likes up on the live.
Yeah. Let me put that in the chat. Actually, I said copied and pasted.
For sure, yeah.
We've been stuck at 40 for a minute. Come on, y'all. Tap, tap, tap up.
Ron down there doing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Ron. Thank you, Ron. That's why I don't trust the Moors. Oh yeah, the Moors. Speaking of Moors, the Moors have a song. I'm gonna play this after. I'm gonna play the Moors song after. The Moors dropped a song on this too.
Yeah.
They little descendants. They're the descendants of the P. Diddlers.
Hey yo.
Right?
Diddle.
Let me show y'all this other picture. Oh my God. What's up? Hey, McGregor.
Oh wow,
Those are Vedix and Hans.
She rocking the fez.
Chicken bucket.
I'm telling you, I got the whole skilo on them because you know what this was all about. Let me just
I'm about to get this Moors song ready.
Real quick, sis, you know that they were part of the Freemasonry too. A lot of them were part of that Freemasonry.
Yep, the Moors had slaves, and they bring those slaves over here so they can take her spot.
There you go. You just spoke it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now look what's on the screen.
I ain't look it up. I've been new. They common knowledge.
You see that, bro? You just mentioned it as I was pulling it up. The 1950 plan to erase Indian country. And then as you see down at the bottom, you see who they related to. That's why I tell people, don't be saying that we the 12 tribes and no Yaku. We ain't got no migration story to no promised land. We was already here. But while he plays that.
Yeah, I'm about to play this right quick. Get ready, y'all. The Moors are here, and they got a message for us, you know. You're a Moor, brother. It's love. 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 Black and Indian just means that you're a slave. Turn the noble true Ali to really get saved. Cause you're a Moor, brother. In actuality, it's time to claim your real nationality. America is El Morocco, and you ain't even know like your name is Rocco. R.I.P. True Ali, we totally miss him. Cause he's the one to get us out the system. Pick up a book and read the treaties and the Black Law Dictionary. Here's a freebie. You're not black, you're truly white. Black is dead, and that's why you have to fight for your life. Cause you're a Moor, brother, it's love. You're a Moor, brother, it's love. You're a Moor, brother, it's love. Yeah, you're a Moor. All right, that's enough.
What the WWE?
I thought the lyrics said, "You're a bean dealer."
Yo.
Oh my God.
Islam.
To the P. Diddler in the building while he's wearing his turban.
So peep this with this Noble Drew Ali stuff. I thought Noble Drew Ali was Cherokee, but his parents. But oh well, that's another
Yeah,
story.
he was. Apparently, there's two.
Oh, they
But
said it's
yeah, there was a circus. There was a Noble Drawley that performed in circuses, in the and stuff like that. So
so wearing a French Moroccan flag with a chicken bucket on your head. That's crazy, man. Like I don't know whose words, the Hebrew Israelites or them. I think the Hebrew Israelites. I think they tied right now because I told my boy he wears the purple Power Ranger suit, and I said, "Yo, yeah, I did all that for Kyrie, who's indigenous." And he said, "Yeah, he wears the fringes like you do because he's an Israelite." I said, "Okay, so why do y'all? So if the people of Asia are called Moabites, right? Moab. I said, so why do y'all co-sign the Siberians that they call natives? Oh, the Most High doesn't make mistakes. I said, all right.
Malachi Z. York wasn't more. He used to see they say that they were more. Yeah. Uh huh. He used to say that. He used to say that they were more. He was like a Yamasee more or some shit. Mm.
But you still call yourself African when you say you're that because you're referencing Morocco
Yeah.
and people of Mali. You're calling yourself African Americans.
Is
And how could you be
No.
original to here
Islam,
when you
brother?
actually? Oh, go ahead.
My
I
bad.
was,
Nah.
A more
I
is
was
a
gonna
catch
say,
term.
I
A
was
more,
gonna say, how you gonna say you original when you done already got reparations?
So what'd you say, Jalen? More is a
oh, I
what?
was saying that a more is a catch term. A more is like saying that I'm black. You know, it's a catch term. It's not really an identity. It's like it's a catch term. So anybody can be a Moor. So I'm not. So and there is good and bad Moors as well.
It's calling yourself black
Some
and
motherfuckers is bad, and unless that's your bloodline, I'm
No, that's
sorry.
not true. That's not true. Noble Drew Ali he actually got inside of the Shriners lodge. And he actually got in a Freemasons lodge and he actually figured out what they was doing and how dirty they was. He came back and told us.
but you still dress like them though.
Sir,
It doesn't matter. He
you
was a
just
spy.
hold on.
He had to listen. He was a spy for us. He literally got off. He bought a merchant boat, got on his boat from like South Carolina, and literally did a loop turn to the coast of like New York or something like that, and faked like he was from Africa, so he can steal all the information and show who the hell we fighting because we didn't know.
You think they're
He
gonna
told us who we were fighting.
You think the government's gonna let him do that?
What you mean? He was a spy for us. You don't understand how cold this man was.
I don't think he was nothing.
Well, you need to do your
Noble
research,
Drew
buddy.
Ali was raised by a dude who actually had the first Canaanite temple. They're all Canaanites. And they do them Canaanite rituals, which is the same as the Lunar.
They all
which is the
intertwined with each
same as
other.
the Pete Diddler shit. So
Yeah,
I don't.
I was about to say all that shit was it connected. The Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam. What else?
The OES,
The Egyptology. Amanda Levy, Blavatsky, and them. Alistair Crowley, all that stuff intertwined.
the OES Freemason,
Mm-hmm.
all of them.
Because Noble Drew Ali said Noble Drew Ali went over to Egypt to learn from Serapis Bey, right? Serapis Bey is a pale face. That wears the fez and shit. Him and Duswa Ali Muhammad. Duswa Ali Muhammad is he was actually melanated, but Duswa Ali Muhammad is the one person where Marcus Garvey got his one God, one nation, one God, or something like that from. So yeah, all that stuff intertwined. Pan-Africanism, Moorish Science Temple, Nation of Islam, yeah, Egyptology, all types of all that shit intertwined. And that Malachi Z. York's teaching. They all that shit intertwined.
Hi,
Hey, what's up, Miley?
what's good? Oh, it was a different one when I first seen this.
It was a different room when you first seen it. What
No,
you
it was
mean?
like a different word. The words was like Black Americans are not African, something like that.
I didn't change the topic, but
You sure you're in the right room?
you sure? Are you sure you're in the right room?
You might be in the-
Yeah, because I seen it. So, but I
You seen?
agree. I don't think Black people in America are African.
Okay, for sure. Where you from, Molly?
I'm from Florida, Miami.
You from Miami?
Yeah,
Your folks from America? You American?
yeah, I'm American. I'm Black American. 100% Black American.
100% Black American. Well, you okay? What
100%.
your folks all throughout Florida? They came from somewhere else.
Some of them are from Lutz, if you know what that is. Some of them for Largo, some of them for Orlando, and then most of them are in Tampa. But we just moved to Miami like 3 years ago, so I mean,
Yeah.
So your grandparents from Florida too?
hell yeah.
You say hell? Oh,
Wow.
they parents from Florida too? Hold
They
on
live
one
in
second.
Temecula,
They,
Louisiana?
they parents from Florida too?
Yeah, like all my people are from Florida. Like
Oh
all the
shit! Which
pictures you can find back to it got a date and it got Florida or some city that I don't know.
they
Kind of wasn't the cities were kind of named different back then, so it was like we're still Florida though.
they Seminole?
I don't know what it was.
They ever say they was Indian?
I don't know. You want me to ask?
I mean, I well, have you ever asked before? They never tell you nothing.
No, I don't really be into this topic, but like I just seen like some African dude on here talking about us being African. I don't agree with that. I think I don't look like an African though, so I don't think I'm African.
All right, all right. So yeah, I would like you to ask your family if they Seminole or something.
Somebody, a grandmother or somebody will tell you.
Somebody will tell you something.
Do you think that we're African or what?
No, I don't think we African.
Period. She's not
Hell yeah, we
American.
are.
Yes, I. How the hell are you gonna tell me what the fuck I am?
No, I'm sure.
Mm.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Crazy that they have I don't know. I know a lot of you guys are pretty young, right? But I'm talking like years ago, right? They used to show those commercials, right? Of these poor, supposedly little African children with the big old bellies, flies
I've
flying.
seen them. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now they used to show those things, right? Now around that time, that was when I saw Africans. I never seen. Now I'm from Chicago, a big city, okay, big old city. And growing up, my whole life, I never seen Africans till I got like my late teens. I started seeing Africans. I never seen them in the cities. They weren't in our schools, and it's when I think about that, it's like if we were had all these slaves that were here, right? Even if they did bring up, which I don't even believe they brought all these slaves. We know they only brought less than 20 of them here to this one particular reservation at one time in the 1800s, right? So all that is nonsense anyway. But let's say they did bring all these Africans, right? Why didn't we see them? Why when I was growing up, I didn't go to school with them. I wasn't seeing them. Why did they just appear and we start seeing them all over the place around this timeline? That would have been, let me see, maybe like the 80s. Yeah, around the 80s.
Yeah. Like
So
my parents.
that's just something that just came to me right now when I was thinking about how when I first started seeing them. But go ahead.
You're talking about the late, yeah, because my parents the same way. Like they didn't really see them in school. My parents was born in the '60s. That wasn't really a lot of them started coming in like even my grandparents who came to New York, like they didn't see them until like the late '60s. Like there wasn't really a lot of them. There wasn't that many of them here. Like it wasn't like kind of like you'll see more people that was from China than you would for them. And that was still rare back then. So yeah, it wasn't. I would say a lot of them start coming here in the '80s, from West Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria and places like that. Like a lot of them wasn't.
I seen them growing up. I seen them all over HBCUs.
Well, you're a little bit younger than us, right? You're probably in your 20s, so you're gonna see a more influx than we did. I didn't see a lot of them. I saw them start
Fair.
coming here in the early '90s.
Fair. Oh, fours. Y'all like the Moorish vocals, y'all? Yeah, he had pulled out that Moorish brother was hitting them notes, huh?
With a Turkish fez on his head, with a Quran in his hand. I can't. It's unbelievable.
Oh, Tony. You're more brother.
Yeah, that shit catchy though.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. My dad was a part of the Moorish Science Temple at one time. Like, yeah, I never agreed with him with that. I was like, yo, nah, I don't. They're like, yeah, you're mooring through your mother's waters and this and that, and nah. Like, I was like
Islam, brother.
don't call yourself black because of like you used to give me stuff for parking tickets and stuff. He'd be like, oh, number 10 nationality. I said, yo, you need a driver's license. Like you can't Like you're operating a 2,800 to 3,500 pound car. It's a piece of machinery. You need a license. You need to learn to drive it. That means a 7-year-old can go and operate and go hurt half the block.
Right.
And see the thing
You
about
don't
us.
have to, brother. You don't have to have a license unless you're driving commercially. Now, I mean that the Supreme Court has already ruled on that. That's law. You do not have to have a driver's license to travel. That's the difference being a traveler and being a driver. A traveler maintains themselves in the private and they have private conveyance as far as like if they get into any type of accident, so on and so forth, everything's under their trust. That's totally different. You maybe that brother's operating a certain way. He might be operating in the private where he doesn't need to.
No,
Maybe
all you gotta do is go
DOT
to a
number. You can get
Department of
some people do.
Transportation.
I think he was. I think he actually was talking about him driving trucks, like commercially.
Okay, thank you. I just want to know because
Yeah, I think
Also, too, the same way some things are just common sense. If you're gonna operate like things like a forklift that weigh thousands of pounds, right? You probably want to know how to operate that. You probably want to be qualified for that. Like some things, like when these guys drive around and be like, "Yo, want to argue with a police officer?" Like, "Yo, what are we doing?" I'm like, "Yo, bro, you didn't took a turn mad wide. You done smacked the pole. So, well, who's the injured party?" I'm like, "See, this is what I'm saying. Like, it makes us."
No, well, let's be truthful. The government does operate off of fraud, so we're not going to cut no corners on them folks.
I get
They're
it.
literally selling you on the stock market as a bond, like a slave.
Do you trust a 7-year-old behind a 3,500?
That's not what I said either. I said, do you trust them same folks that's selling you on a stock market?
It's not that I trust them, but something.
Whatever, then. All right, bro.
Common sense. You want a 7-year-old? You want a
Just let
7-year-old?
him finish, bro.
Okay, like this is common sense, bro.
Let's get the likes to 55, y'all. Throw some gifts.
For sure.
So we got the Moors,
go ahead.
Hebrew Israelites, and the Pangoofies. We know we're telling the truth because it's like a whole militia of know nothings, Pangoofies, Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew Israelites gonna be next. They're not really at us right now, but I'll give it about a couple of months. And then Hebrew Israelites when we start going we don't start including the NAs as one of us. That's when they're gonna start because they make money off the NAs too about the lost the tribe of Gad. That's what they call them.
Hey, don't it kicked you? Let me invite you back up, Sister. It kicked you. Let's see. You said, "Damn, got that song stuck in my head." Hey, yo.
Oh, that shit stuck in my head. Please don't see that shit. Damn. You a who?
Did y'all see the TikTok where the dude said he said, "Yo,
like,
I'm a
who makes a soft romantic?" Let me shut the
Did you ever see the dude that was talking? I'm talking to the Moor. He said, "I'm a moist American." He couldn't say more. He said, "You're a moist American." Moist. Like,
oh yeah, I think I saw that. Oh, you're a moist. That's crazy. The Israelites might make a song next.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See that one video? My bad. They was to the period. They was trying to flow and shit. Buddy them had on whole gowns. Like, what the fuck? I'm done.
Oh yeah, y'all remember the natives? The natives had made a song. Y'all heard that?
Oh no.
We are your farm workers. We are your some shit. I said what? You what?
Oh,
Hold on, let me let me find it. Let me find
please
you play that one because I said what the fuck? I'm done.
We're gonna make a rap song for the Pretenians.
We are your hard workers. I said y'all don't even have a body frame for that shit. Like stop.
They said,
John
I want.
Bravo.
I got you. I got you.
Hold on, he got it.
You're a
This bullshit.
Why won't you take a DNA test? Show us your blood quantum, even though it's racist. Why don't you speak your native language? Your ancestors came on slave ships. I'm a 23andMe disciple. Skip Gates is my idol. The test is better than the Bible. Just say you're African before I bite you. You're a white pretending. You're a white pretending. You're a wild pretending. You're a wild pretending. Your grandma lied about her long silky hair. You're 20% white, so that's how I got in there. 7% Nigerian, but you don't even care. Admit that you're from Africa and stop being scared. Show your results so we can see that you're a spit kid Bantu just like me. You're a wild pretending. You're a wild pretending.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pure mayonnaise. Pure
He
mayonnaise.
roasted the shit out of us.
That's real crazy.
The Pan Africans got a song too. Hold on.
Oh my God.
But I'm rocking with the Moore one, the Morris one.
You got self hate, you're an African. You got self hate, you're an African.
Start it over. Start it over.
All right.
You got self hate, you're an African. You got self hate, you're an African. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. You got self hate, you're an African. You got self hate, you're an African. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. You say you Indian, that's why we attack. Save Africa, we ain't never going back. Staying in the States, cause all we do is cap. Watching with a Becky and an RPG flag. Fuck Dr. Umar, I'm addicted to that snow bunny coach. Super freaky, I didn't let her lick on my boots. And my grandma's
What?
a liar, and I think this shit is cool. Your granny ain't Indian, you just look like a fool. You got self hate, you're an African. You got self hate, you're an African. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. I can't even trace my lineage back. Defend the tree, let's put Africa on the map. You just making shit up on your tree. Just go and take the 23 and me so we can finally flee to the motherland of DMP. But it's the panty of me to sell your ass a fucking pipe dream. Yeah, I made these songs, by the way. I trolled the fuck. Yo, I got everybody with that native song. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, that. Oh, yeah.
Niggas actually thought they made a song. I was like, nah, I made
But they
it.
do. But you know what's funny? Some of the NAs do have songs though. Like what's the one that's dancing next to the chick? She's rapping next to the Olmec head, but she's like, yo, that alone. I'm like, damn, man. If you gonna copy us, at least do it good.
Yeah, I made the native song. I made the Moore song. I made the Pan African song.
Yo, you know what's so funny? If you drop that with make a ghost account and drop it, yo, you're gonna get like 60,000 followers immediately.
For real.
Oh, they got a song for us. You just got to take that for those pretendians.
He said, "I know you." Everybody, I know you. Fuck. Yeah, I made it with AI.
Oh, that's crazy.
She talking about that soft ass lover song, bro.
Now that Moore song had me cracking up, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, because I was just like, I couldn't believe. Yeah, I made those. I thought people would pick up that like, hey, somebody ain't no real native make this. Ain't no native make this shit.
but you know what's funny though? I don't leave it past them. That's why I thought it was so real.
Because I was like 23andMe disciple.
I think that was a little bit of a hint, though.
Yeah, like when I made that shit, I was like, people gonna catch on. Like, somebody's trolling right now. Yeah. Skip Gates in my idol. The test is better than the Bible. Just say you're African before I bite you.
Oh,
yeah.
Yo, your videos when you be making fun of them, like when they type into you, yo, that has me cracking up. I first start seeing them on Instagram.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, yo, the voice alone is funny because they do talk like that. There's no masculinity in their voice.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I made a song for Big Bag. Big Bear. Oh yeah, I did make a song for Big Bag. Hold on. I don't think I let y'all hear that. Hold on 1 second. I made a song for Big Bag. Hold on. Big Bag. All right, let me see.
Big bag, you know I need a big snack. And you know it's a Big Mac, cause I'm a big bag, big bag. You know I can't see my feet. Cause I hate all the bison meat. I sound like Darth Vader when I breathe. I'm just a little hefty, can't you see? Cause I'm a big bag, and you know I need a big snack. And you know it's a Big Mac, cause I'm a big bag. Only time I leave the reservation is when I make my reservations. I'ma eat it all with this preservations. Eat for two just to show my dedication. Cause I'm a big bag, you know I need a big snack. And you know it's a Big Mac, cause I'm a big bag, Time I leave the reservation is when I make my reservations. I'ma eat it all. What the fuck is preservations? Eat it for two just to show my dedication. Cause I'm a big bag, you know I need a big snack. And you know it's a Big Mac, cause I'm
All right, David.
big bag,
That's about it. Hey, yo, that shit is hilarious. Man. But nah, Big Bag. I made a song for Big Bag. I might make an Israelite song. We'll
Yo,
see.
please, man. Please, turn to Matthew 5 verse 10.
I was gonna make a response song to that. Hey, yo, somebody actually did make a response song. Prophet, he made a response, a response. My bad, excuse me, a response to it. He's just like, I guess somebody told him I made it. He was like, oh shit, you the one that made the song? I was like, yeah, yeah. Prophet originally made a song. You know it's a big snack cause I'm a big bag, big bag.
I had to pull the picture up. You petty as hell. Big bag, big bag.
Let me ask you something. So what pseudo group didn't come after us yet? Because it seems like all of them now. I think the tally is up.
Yeah, the tally is everybody that came after. I can't name one that hasn't.
I think the gods and earth didn't come at us yet. The gods and earth is kind of on our side, so that's our ally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I say yeah. This is like it's a big snack because I'm a big bag, big bag. Only time I read a reservation is when I eat like my is when I make my reservation. He said, "I'm gonna eat it all. What the fuck is preservations? Eat it for two just to show my dedication because I'm a big bag, big bag." Yeah, it's gotta be a rap. Yeah, for sure.
The Hebrew Israelite song got to be a rap so they can yell out their scriptures. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, I got y'all. What's up, Earth Angel?
Hey y'all, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Channel Niji said I play too much. Facts.
Peace.
You saw I was gonna rip their head off lyrically. I didn't know that was you, Darvid. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I was saying in the chat, David, you gotta make sure when you do the Hebrew song, make sure it's a rap, so they could yell out the scriptures as like a little ad libs, or even in right.
Timothy 3 verse 5.
That'd be the intro.
Turn to 1 Corinthians 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it up tomorrow.
Do they
Write
have them?
something up.
Are they in y'all city where y'all from? Because I know I'm over here in New York, and
Yeah,
them he's like everywhere, man.
they be at the harbor, Baltimore's harbor,
Yeah.
every damn Saturday, screaming and shit in the harbor. They be at the harbor damn near every Saturday. Every time you just go to Baltimore's harbor on a Saturday, you'll see them out there. Actually, me and my homie was actually he was debating them.
Oh my God. Yo,
Like
you gotta get that.
the women that we were with, they was getting mad. They was like, "Yo, come on, like we gotta
Bro,
get out."
when you hit the streets, please go up to one of them for like the Native Americans, like, and go ask them questions. I said, okay, so if they're from Siberia, wouldn't that consider them like Moab, since you guys claim them? Oh man, you're gonna probably get the worst. They're gonna start screaming at the top of their lungs at you.
Hey yo,
Most High does not make mistakes. Read.
read. I saw it. No, it wasn't an Israelite. I don't think it was an Israelite. No, it was some African pastor screaming in DC too. I was like, bro, to turn to Jesus, some shit.
Why?
Jesus
Why
is
all of
the
them
way.
bald headed? Why
he
they all
was
bald headed?
he was bald too. He was
One
like
thing,
an African.
one thing about the Hebrew Israelites, they don't like Africans at all.
Jeffrey, read Matthew 35:16.
And then
One
Okay.
fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Look at that.
They be
Swine,
having,
my brother.
they
know
be
what?
having white tees out there kissing their shoes. they got all kind of mess going on out there.
They said, "Kiss my feet. In the last days, you'll be my servant."
I saw one where a white tea lady was trying to come at them, and he was like, "You are a cave bitch." Like, what?
Yo,
I
he was
was
like,
like,
"Shut up,
yo.
hey bitch."
I
Yo,
wonder
that's
where
one of
they
the
get those,
funniest videos ever.
I was like, what in the hell?
where do they get those three kings outfits from? Like the medieval, like the boots. They got the boots, the belts. Like, I'm like,
They
yo,
gotta be custom made, yo.
yeah, they got to. They're like in the fringes on the bottom too. You forgot about that too. Like, yeah, they're like, you're a goddamn Edomite, and they got prereqs for when they date women. I was like, so if you date this woman who's black and white, what does that make you? Well, what's her father from?
Hey, yeah, exactly. Where's her father from? It's a
I said, well, Ronda Rousey's mother's father is from Trinidad. All right, so she's an Israelite. I said, one of them said Conor McGregor was an Israelite because the Irish,
hey
they had
yo.
the swag. They said because the swag, the ones that wear the black. One of them said that. He said, yeah, that's a brother right there. You see how he move and carry himself? That's right. Most High don't make mistakes.
Hey yo.
They got
We got
so because I did a skit about them one time. Because like remember I'm in New York, so that it's like the headquarters. Like remember
yeah.
125th. Everybody that comes against us is on 125th.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
Did you say? Oh, huh?
You got somebody on the panel.
Okay.
What'd you say, Bree?
Can everybody tap the live? We've been at 56K for a little minute.
Oh yeah, tap the live, y'all. Tap the live or read Deuteronomy right now. If you don't tap the live or read Deuteronomy.
You don't
Pick
type that
one.
live, the Most High is gonna light your ass up.
What's up, Chef? We got Gamal or
What's
Jamal.
up?
How you doing?
What's up? What's up? I
How you
heard
doing?
126, so I had to talk. I had to swing in because I'm from New York and I definitely know 125th.
Oh, you what? Word the mother. You what? Nah, but yeah, okay. Shout out to New York, even though y'all the headquarters for everybody right now. Everybody's
Yes.
headquartered. Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I tell everybody, don't come here because we ain't even the headquarters. We're like the doom quarters. You come here, you
Mhm.
might as well be prepared to bust your ass and slave for the rest of your damn life.
Oh yeah, the headquarters. Yeah, I was saying like more so the immigrant headquarters, but yeah, that too.
Yeah, both. The immigrant headquarters, you could say that too, because once they realized that they drugged out all the black people, they was like, you know what? Let's go catch some immigrants because they're gonna do it and not give us no issues. The same routine, it just keeps recycling itself.
True, true, true. Uh, Reed, Susan said big New York. I don't know. I don't know about big New York.
I'm gonna be honest. There's no, I don't know about no big New York. We was that. We was that. We was great. We was powerful, but that fell into the dust. So
Hmm.
I actually lived in every barrel, so I can have a lot of opinions on. I'm pretty older, so I've been in every barrel and I seen the change. I
No, no, what,
clearly
no, what,
seen it.
no, no. Where was you? No, what you rep? Like,
Oh, I read Brooklyn.
all from Queens, big Queens.
Um,
What's
does
that?
anybody know anything about the Black Dragon Society?
I think I've heard. Yeah,
I heard
hold
of,
on.
yeah, I heard of
I
them.
never heard of that, so I
I've
would
heard of,
definitely like to hear about that.
I've heard
Yeah,
of
go
them.
ahead.
The Black Dragon Society was a group of Japanese guys who were successful in espionage, like sort of like an old way to bring espionage in a way where they were at war with the Russians, and they became people who kind of exploited the weak people in Russia, and they were successful in fighting with media and fighting with finding the Achilles heel of of Russia, like they did in America. They found out these Japanese people found out that the Achilles heel of America was its black people, and they say that is where this guy Takashi or whatever his name is got involved in Chicago with all of those black groups that came to Chicago and endorsed it. There was a lady, Mama something, who was in Chicago before the Nation of Islam. Does anybody know who that lady was? It was like a Ethiopian or group in Chicago.
Ethiopian group in Chicago now.
Ethiopian
Well,
in Chicago?
it was very famous in the 30s. And then they got a hold of the Nation of Islam. They got a hold of the founder of a Nation of Islam, and they backed him with money. And they say that's where they made the propaganda of the black man is a black Asiatic man.
I don't think it's a propaganda. Reason why I say I don't think it's a propaganda is because I actually do have Asian in my blood. It's 10%, but I actually have Asian in my blood. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's Asian people in a lot of black culture's blood because it's in my blood. And then, according to my mom, it's the first generation of Asian people that came here to America.
I'm talking about Japanese.
No, just yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's Japanese, Chinese. I'm still working on finding these bloodlines.
I challenge any one of you to look up because I kind of looked it up, and it's sort of it's not known. You have to look deep, but the guy who uh, who was head of that was kicked out of Detroit. At the same time, um, they say that this guy Takashi or whatever, he started the FOI. He helped um, Elijah Muhammad start the FOI because he was a master in training soldiers and all of that. It's kind of sporadic, but I would tell any of you young people to try to look this stuff up if you have any ways of finding,
I've read about them a little bit, and it's so funny
I'm
that
gonna
you
look
mentioned
that
that.
up because it sounds what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he studied the white people, something we all supposed to be doing, and it sounds like he did that, which
So
I've been waiting for. It sounds like he actually studied them.
Cool.
So Jamal, I know what you're talking about with the Black Dragon Society. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about with the Asiatic Black Man theory. So the Gods and Earths around the late '60s was what that came to be, and they followed that philosophy of the original man and Asiatic Black Man. That's the terms. Like so, they broke off from the fruit of Islam and Nation Islam to start their own thing, the 5% Nation. So that's what
Well,
the
I can
founder
tell
of the
you,
5% Nation
I
was the
can
one
tell
that
you
did.
about that. My father was Malcolm X's assistant minister.
Okay.
So Malcolm used to always tell my dad to go pull um, the head of the 5%er. Malcolm used to always, because he believed he believed to go himself into the ghetto and smoke and drink and pull the dead out of the corners, out of the basements, out of those wretched places. And my father said sometimes he'd be scared because that man, he was a good fisher. He was very good. Malcolm said that he was excellent, but sometimes he would just go a little wayward. But he would bring brothers back. I mean, some bad brothers back, and he was known to do that.
The Gods
But
and Earths believe in being poor, righteous teachers in the neighborhood, and
yeah,
even to
man.
this day.
Yeah, he was bad. I mean, and he told Malcolm, he's like, why should I be doing this when when I'm a god?
Like,
And
That's what they told. That's what he supposedly was talking to
and
Malcolm and them about. He said, like, I can make my own thing, you
and,
know.
and and the Gods and Earths are the ones that actually support it. I have friends in Gods and Earths, and they actually support us because number one, they already know that they say, oh, the original man. So if you're the original man of the Earth, you're the original man of North America as well. You're not. There's no separation of that. So they really have the knowledge.
yeah,
And
I was talking to someone that followed him, and thing I don't know about. Yeah, I just tell folks, man, you just do your genealogy. That's all I do. That's all I say. But it's stuff be interesting to listen to. But I just say, yeah, just do your genealogy. Cause you get attached to the cultures that you come from, then ain't no need for speculation and stuff like that. So
And people, stuff that follow in your bloodline too, like things that you do is nothing new. I just said I was third generation on rails. I met my dad at 27 years old, and him and I was talking about the same stuff. We had the same interests and stuff, and I never had a conversation with him until I was 27. And some things are just in you, and you're right about genealogy. These little spit tests and all that stuff. Nah, go get that paperwork and go to those census records and go see who you really related to, and you'll start realizing, like, yeah, you know what? Nobody can tell you nothing now. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now with myself. I'm trying to go a little bit stronger because I did some tests and it was saying that I was African, Asian, and Afro-Cuban, but Afro-Cuban is like my stronger gene. So I'm trying to go way deeper and I'm just really like focused on finding my people's knowledge, my culture.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When they say stuff like Afro Cuba and stuff like that, my great great grandmother, Isabella Ricardo, is from Dominican Republic. She was classified as black. Uh, Came here and traveled. She also traveled Jamaica, then came to the United States. Um, there's no markers for that. And this is what I'm saying. The genealogy is going to reveal everything. I didn't know. Listen, she went to Jamaica, came here, and gave birth to the first black judge of Nassau County, Moxie Rigby. That is my great great. That's my great great uncle. So when you look at your genealogy, you'll start realizing like how things connect, and you can start off with just basic ancestry.com. They'll pull up.
I started off with recently was ancestry.com because I said I need to do some more research on my bloodline because what my goal is to discover the pattern that the Europeans have on us because for some reason it's in every area that black people are at. So, and I noticed it's the same exact pattern. So I'm like, this is kind of diabolical. I don't see this in no other culture but black people. Like we seem to have this all the time. But at the same time, who's behind that pattern? And Europeans and Jews are behind the pattern that we're going through, especially when it comes down.
Yeah, we can't say the J word.
Oh,
Can't
sorry.
say
The J's. the J's, around the J's, the J's and the E's, pretty much they have a real powerful control system. And one of those control systems that keeps us clashing is currency. That is our biggest problem is who controls what we earn. If we could break away from who controls our earnings and we create our own currency, we will be unstoppable. Hands down.
It's bigger than currency. It's back to family and bloodline. See, the thing
That's
about
right.
it,
That too, no, that too, but that is a main factor to even get us together. But in order for us to think, we need to start thinking at their pockets because they get rich off of what we do.
I'm gonna be real with you. We had more with less back in decades ago. And the reason why I say that is that everybody on here could trace their family that still has land and had land back then. See, when you can feed yourself, clothe yourself, and educate your children and have meaningful relationships to reproduce, that is going to destroy any monetary system because you can't really be
That's
controlled.
prosperity.
Yourself, prosperity.
Yes,
Correct.
but it needs to be a group. It needs to be a whole. One family can't destroy a system. It has to be multiples. Now,
Yeah.
in the
By
past,
nature.
watch this. In the past, we had that. We had a closed box, right? Now, watch this. When they saw our perfect box, right? They said, "Oh no, we can't have this perfect box. We have to mess that box up because they have their own currency, their own savings, everything is Gucci." So when they started messing that box up, guess what happened? That box, the people inside that box started outsourcing. So when they started outsourcing, who they outsourced to to the person that was doing them wrong and trusted in the people that did them wrong. So that's why we continue to go through this cycle because we once had it. We were there.
You gotta understand too.
We were there, but we did not keep fighting. We just got tired of being bombed and said, "Fuck it, we're gonna live how we live."
I'm gonna be real with you about our money situation, right? We have a bigger economic base than a few African countries put together. 40 million of us. So listen, even if you put money in people that have not been treated and healed, you put money in a sick person's hands, it's gonna be worse. Because think about it. We're from New York, okay? Listen, a lot of our friends make over $100,000 a year and stuff like that here in New York. It doesn't matter because we can go to the Barclays Center right now and see a bunch of people that make 250, 300. They're gonna be fighting the bathroom.
True, that is very true. But at the same time, they're making $100,000 a year, but they have a boss that, mind you, if they boss do anything wrong in their face, guess what they gotta do? Shut up. They can't speak up.
It's not in the black
They
man's
can't
nature.
change the narrative of people doing wrong things. This is where when we see something wrong, we're supposed to say no. The problem is we don't say no. We say, "Okay, no, we're going to stop this problem," instead of saying, "No, you're wrong. This is this." We just accept it. We just say, "Okay, whatever the master says." It's a routine we've been doing for so long.
Just remember this, right? When we had more, like my great grandfather in Alabama, Fort Deposit. Uh, See, when he had land, the thing he had to deal with, not even if he did work for himself, he had to deal with YT people coming up to him and being like, "Hey, well, I got this land. You can live in a better piece of land, but you just got to cultivate the crops." See, what happens is this. Um, yes, we do have bosses. Listen, I'm a train operator. I work for one of the most disrespectful companies in the country. Okay, so it's all back to knowledge of self and self control and always having a plan. See, people with no plan go nowhere. People with no see, we can give it. See, you can give us money. You can give us all 500,000. Go out, be your own boss. Guess what? We're gonna inject it right back to the people. We're gonna inject it back into another community because when you don't have knowledge of self, you're gonna still you gotta fix people that need to be healed.
Yeah, that's true. We have to fix the people in order for the money to stay in the communities and build the communities. But in order to fix the people, we have to get through parents. We have to get through children and in order to get through children, we have to get through parents. Because a lot of people fail to understand your child is not an adult at 18. They're adults at 30 years old. because they went through an actual adult stage. So when you say that they are adult at 18 and they can do whatever they want, guess what happens? Your child, a lot of parents don't tell their children, and when I say they do not tell their children the truth about outside and then question why their kids are doing the worst, you have to think about what you did not tell them.
Especially daughters. Like in our community.
Yes, especially girls.
Boys,
If your daughter goes to school, now mind you, we all went to school before. We all know how the boys get down. We all know how the girls get down, right? So we have a kid as an adult. Why would you not tell your children about school and about the sexual things that happen in schools so they can think twice before they act on it?
You know, the mentality in our community is with daughters, right? They'll say, well, I had it hard. You got to get out at 18 because I had to get out at 18.
That's so sick.
And
That is so sick.
mothers are competing with daughters. One of my ex-girlfriend's mother was jealous of her because she didn't have a man and she had me. And she was used to, when I used to be in, like, because she had the whole basement to herself. So I'll be chilling and watching TV. Her mother will be stomping on the floor upstairs, walking back and forth, slamming doors, playing the music loud when she needed to make her presence be known. Then when she got a man, all that went away. And she admitted to it. She admitted to her boyfriend. Her boyfriend came down and said she was doing that because she was upset she didn't have anybody. And you know, again, you have to heal a sick people. See, she had a good job. She had a little bit of money. She had, you know, but you have to heal sick people.
Is it
Yeah,
possible?
and you know what's funny? The most sick people is actually between both parties, the middle class and the poor class. Because if you have money, a lot of parties are still sick in the head. You don't got money, a lot of parties are still sick in the head. That's why I said there's a pattern. There's a real pattern going on. Because if you have money, you should be able to create something that should inspire people. But instead, you create something that inspires people that don't even like you.
I'm gonna be real. Just keep it
What
simple.
about creating something that makes the money for you? That's what we should be doing. That's what everybody should be doing.
We're trying to get our learning skills.
It's not really about money.
Construction,
Right.
anything.
Right. Real quick, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I just want to say on what you were saying too. I want to go back with the schooling thing. This is why our children are in these schools, to keep them out of their minds, so they're not inventors, so they're not creators, so they're not developing their minds with their ideas and imagination and coming up with new and new things, brighter technology. These children nowadays, they know the technology so much. They can teach the adults. They can go to a senior citizen home and teach all the seniors how to do the computers. And you know what I'm saying? The kids are very bright and intelligent. So imagine if your child was at home and exploring their mind, reading, studying, going out into nature, doing all these different things. Think of the ideas and things they would be coming up with. See, this is where the money comes in. You say the money, but it's just the wealth, the investment of what they have, the gifts, their talents. All these things are valuable, and they're more valuable than.
So where the parents,
it starts at the home, right? So when you look at like the like, let's say like this, right? We got to keep things simple. Let's try first.
Exactly.
Micro things like be faithful to your spouse. Show your children that you can be loyal.
Commitment.
Your father, commitment to the woman that birthed your child, or if you're a woman, commitment to the man that put a seed in you. See, it comes back to grassroots. Is money. See, you put money in people that have no honor or no type of honor, loyalty or discipline. If you put in people that have no discipline and no honor for their fellow person of their group, it doesn't matter anymore, because
Money has no loyalty.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say,
no
why
loyalty on
don't
money.
we make, there's something that we didn't make that has lapsed, that we don't see out in our schools. It's home ec. And home ec has changed.
That's a fact.
Home ec,
Great
the whole
debaters in
system,
schools no
the
more.
whole system of home ec has to be broken down and built up again. So when these kids go out, they understand how to balance a checkbook, how to cook. Those are the basics. How to clean up 10 feet in front of their house.
That's why they're supposed to be home. home when you're home. That's
Exactly.
what the school system is doing. That's what I was
Exactly.
trying to say earlier. When
Exactly.
you have these children in school, they can't develop their minds, they can't do any of these things. They're not learning the basics. The reason
Exactly.
they're at home, they learn from you. You're the guide, or you're the teacher for your child. No one should be teaching your
Definitely.
child ethics, anything other than you. If you need assistance, get somebody else in the family that know it and help you. That's why it takes a village. They used to say it takes a village to raise a child, because when you're doing these things, you're raising them up in the right way. You want them to grow and flourish like a nice built tree. We don't want them to be raggedy shrubs all over the place, stuff breaking off the limbs all week. We want them to be steady and strong. So you do that when they're home. They learn all these things. They're learning home economics. Okay, go get in your room. Oh, this how you do that. Oh no, you got to pull your bed out. You got to go up under there. You might not have noticed, but there's stuff up under there that you might have kicked. You know what I'm saying? These are the basics, and they're basic things that the children need to learn, and they can't learn them when they're at school.
And
They
now for
learn
adults,
them
you have to
when you
audit.
get
You
home
have to audit adults.
from school.
They
Real
also
quick, girl.
can't learn it when their
One last
parents are
sentence. One last
able.
sentence, y'all. I'm finna mute up. One last
Yeah.
sentence. You can't teach them these things and show them when they get out of school, and then you're getting out of work. You're tired. You're trying to get a little dinner together. You're trying to get things ready for tomorrow. There's too much going on. This is what the job is to do. It's keeping you distracted from what's important in your life and the things that you need to be handling that makes development in your family, in this world, and this a continued cycle. So now you don't have all these things because you just can't devote the time to that. This is why it's important to be homeschooled. This is why it's important to have your own business, be making
Yep.
a craft and showing your child this how you do. Hey, you got to make your own. It's about you. This is what we're supposed to do on a day to day. I'm mute.
But that's a
Appreciate
lot.
that. And I want to say something. I was about to say, I'm gonna say this because I know people went off topic with the what was initially being said, but like focusing on family is the great move. When people family get their families together, then people are able to make communities. Right, your family is essentially your tribe, right, or your immediate family is essentially your clan, right? And when two clans come together, that's when they make a tribe. And when true tribes come together, that's when when they make an empire or a confederation, right? Now that being said, um, where was I going to go? These J people, they don't control nothing tangible. J people control things that people could easily unplug from, right? People just choose not to. With that being said, that's why the Mormons, that's why I emphasize the goddamn Mormons, because they got all our records, right? Our records tie us back to land patents and stuff that are tangible that can be passed down within generations that ties us to the land and things like that.
Okay, can I ask you a
Yeah, hold on.
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who owns the treasury? Who created the dollar bill?
The dollar bill,
No, no,
but
no.
Yeah, now some
No,
some
because
that's
this
some
is
that's considered
because
fiat.
he's saying as of history, right? So if we're talking about history, who created the dollar bill? Because it definitely wasn't
Foreigners.
us, and it
it
It's
was
fiat.
definitely
Some
wasn't
it
average
was created.
Europeans.
It was
yeah,
created
fiat.
by the it was created by the federal government to work with the
Who are
federal
these
banks. The
people?
federal
It's a
government,
bunch of people.
No, it's
they
not
are the
federal.
servants.
It's
They
a
are
Pacific.
you asking, and I'm trying to tell you, sis, you can't hear the answer because you're talking, baby. You want to hear the answer, or you asking something else? I'm confused. I'm sorry.
Because you're saying federal, and I'm saying
I'm not trying anything. I'm giving you the answer, but you interrupted me if you want the answer. But you can go ahead. I'll just mute. I was trying to tell you.
Yeah, I was about to say, ain't nobody like these like the people.
federal is
Go
a
ahead.
title. Federal is a title. It's not who created the dollar. Who created the dollar was a Jewish person.
What's
That's
their
why
name?
we can't say. I mean, sorry,
What's their name?
people.
Yeah, what's their name? Who
He
created?
was
I'm not.
he created the Federal Reserve System, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly, the
So now
treasury,
once he
the
created it,
system that
no,
we
no,
use
no,
today
no,
to
that's not
pay our
correct, sis.
bills.
Sis, wait a minute, that's not right. You're saying something that, hold on, let's clarify that real quick. That's why I was trying to explain it to you real quick. It would have took me 2 seconds. But the Federal Reserve is different from the Treasury. This is what I'm trying to say. That's two different things. So the Federal Reserve was created to work with the Treasury. That's the only way that they can get into the Treasury to get funding is with the Federal Reserve. And this is why they created the system and the fiat and all that. But there's more to it, but go ahead.
Yes, there is more to it because still both parties, Jew or Jays, are part of the cycle. And this is why
Johnny come latelys, honestly. They're Johnny come latelys. They're not
so
tied to anything
they are
historic.
very tied to our currency. They are extremely
They're tied to the they're
Can I
they're
can
not
I can I explain
hold
something
on.
on that real quick? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
One
I'm sorry.
second.
Go ahead,
One
Darby.
second. I was about to say one second. One second. I was about to say they ain't not tied to nothing historical here. If you want to be honest. No, hold on.
currency. Why
Money,
you
money.
think?
Hold
Hold
on
on.
1 second, ma'am. Can you relax? Like y'all be so hot headed over some shit y'all don't even know about. They don't even tie. Yeah, I was about to say they don't even tie to nothing. They don't tie back to no ancient or historical people, right? That actually did some shit over here, right? When we talk about the government, right? When we talk, the government is still backed by and controlled by other different things that aren't J people. People always want to blame this on the J people, that on the. Hold on 1 sec. These are Johnny come latelys. They're Johnny come latelys. They just got power.
The dollar bill. How
Hold
old is the
on.
dollar bill? Because the dollar bill does not go through history. The dollar.
Yeah, that's why I said J people don't tie themselves to nothing historically. Not these eight, the ones that start with an eight. They don't tie back to nothing. They don't tie back to nothing historical, right? People can say fuck these banks. How about that? People can wake up and say fuck these banks, and then run right. Like people choose not to.
You know, Malcolm,
Like that's go
Malcolm
ahead.
X used to say, by the time about the Johnny come latelys, he used to say, by the time the fool learns the rules to the game, the players have dispersed and on to another game. Now, if you want to fall for it, we can fall for it, but we can't. It's not in our nature to be like this. So we could see how money's spent and they doing all this stuff, but it's not in our nature to be greedy and avarice. That we're looking inside of who we are because it's good to be prosperous, but our prosperity is different. Let me tell you one way that it was. That we used to bury our elders on the property we lived on because they will protect us in the spiritual world. So now you're looking at a whole different group of people in the way that they think. Now, we need to be audited.
What you said,
Yes, ma'am.
sweetheart. Now, that's correct too in the spiritual sense. But you know why they did that as well? If you have your family buried on your land, you don't pay taxes. That's another reason.
Mm-hmm.
It avoids. Yeah.
In Africa, that's why.
Not Africa, and we don't care about Africa.
A little bit further.
We talking about here. We talking about here. The land. I'm sorry, land. You know, if your ancestors are buried on your land, you don't pay the taxes. So that's what's important about that here. And when it comes to this system, right? The system was created for them, like Darby was saying, for them to create a system, for them to become wealthy off of us. And what Receipt Goddess was talking about earlier, the trust, the Indian trust, and what I was speaking on as far as the railroad and all these things. So all these things are tied into that. So what happens is they created a system so that they can use our ancestors' names and their credentials. So let's say it like that, their credentials, their credit, their value, their worth, everything that they had and owned, the land, the property, the gold, the mines, all that stuff that's in our ancestors' names. So they created all these fictitious people so that they are able to use them. This is why I get so upset with these natives, because a lot of them know and some of them don't know, but most of them are agents, so they've been brought up in it. These people are getting paid because they're playing the role of some of our ancestors using the names, so on and so forth. That's why I was just showing you the names that was saying the Pedro and all these different people that were coming in. So now they create this system, this commerce system, say, okay, once we create this is the way to use the name. Because see, they can't just use the name. They have to give the names to these people so they can access the funding through the treasury. Because see, our people set up the treasury. They have a Federal Reserve system. So they were setting it up because they were public servants and were supposed to be assisting. And then some way, I don't know the mysteries of it all. I don't know it all, but all I know is some way they took it over because the treasury was created by our people. And this is why they had to create a whole entire system to be able to go into it. So now they created the Federal Reserve. Then they created these companies, these foreign entities to come in, and they're supposed to be public servants to be of service to the people. So when a company comes here, it's because, hey, there's 50,000 people in such and such county. So since there's 50,000 people in that county, they're going to need vehicles. So I'm going to do a car dealership. So, okay, sure, you can go do that car dealership. So when they come in and set up this car dealership, it's supposed to assist us, but they're using our names, which is our signatures that belongs to our ancestors, that goes back to the funds, that goes back to the trust. This is the only way they can dip into the funding. So this is what's going on. It's a game, and they're playing it through the paperwork. And because people aren't aware of it, they're continuing to abuse it. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I ain't want to cut y'all off, but I want to clear that up.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to say, hold on one
Oh,
second.
sorry.
I was about to say this, and I was finish my point, right? When I say they don't control nothing that people can't easily tap out of, what? Oh, they control the music industry. Stop listening to their fucking music. uh, but people don't choose to. Stop watching Hollywood. They made Hollywood cool. Stop watching Hollywood movies, right? Right? It's not like, what else? Oh, money, the banks. Take your money out of the goddamn banks then. You know?
Stop watching balloon popping podcast and all that stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, when they say they gave us the trap, it's up to us to take it. Like all
Exactly.
this, you got to be six. Like this whole, a man got to be 6 foot, 6 figures, all this stuff. This is all programming that we don't have to follow this. We don't have to, like these people are put in front of us. These people are placed in things. So you listen. They dangle the carrot in front of the rabbit. It's up to you to stay on your back legs and go bite it.
Jay started stop. Jay's made TikTok, or did China make TikTok? Right. If anything that people complain about, we talk about specific people, right? And they're like, who are these people? You look into these people, right? And then honestly, right, if you talk about specific families, the Rothschilds ain't got money like that no more. A lot, they running out of money. If you want to be honest, they're running out of money and influence, right? The richest family in the world aren't Jays. They're Jesuits. They aren't.
It's starting to be a change of guard.
Yeah.
Just was so-called.
Oh, you speaking, Sister? Oh, we can't hear you.
Somebody got paid off of the Rothschild, the one that was just found deceased a couple of months ago. Remember in the fire in his house? They talking about, oh, we don't know what was in there, and he had so many antiquities and blah blah blah. Yeah, I bet his family, some of them somebody had to get gone so they can get some bread quick because they going broke.
Yeah, they are the Walton family. The people that made Walmart are the richest family in the world.
And it goes down to so many. When people ask like, who are the people? There's hundreds and hundreds of families, and like you if you try to look down a rabbit hole, you're gonna be distracted by how you can do things for your own community and people close to you. See, just like how they did. See, you see what happens. You copy and paste and do what the Jays. See what the Jays do. And like, I'm from New York. The Jays are very good at having stubborn community and stubborn family groups. Back in the day, a lot of our families, some of us in this chat are probably related to each other. A lot of families intermarried into other families, kept a lot of matriarchs going on. So, again, this has been going on. They just kept the old world practices that we forgot about.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about families at the end of the day. Fuck those like ethnic groups or quote unquote races, right? It's all about family. Who are the most powerful families in the world? They all this these certain people do this, these people do that. Like, all right, what's their lineage? 13 families, blah blah blah. Where did they go back to? Oh, nobility, a specific nobility, black nobility. Come on now.
Can I tell you guys something interesting? This is just far fetched from everything you're talking about, but I sell antiques, and I just don't sell regular antiques. I sell Persian rugs. I sell old artifacts. And one artifact that's interesting is the face jug. Do you guys know about the face jug?
Yeah.
It's a jug with a face on it. And it was made.
It's like polished like not marble, but like that polished clay.
Ceramics. Now, when
What's up, Meanie?
Black people couldn't read or write. So what they did was with face jugs is they made on the face jug without the master knowing the faces from their tribes in Africa. And the more tribal it is or brutalist it is, the more it traces back to areas in Africa. Would mark our graves. You know how they would mark our graves?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
They would put a face jug right by that cypress tree or that certain, because we used a certain kind of wood.
That goes back to the Mayans though, and the Mayans going all the way back to the South of Louisiana.
Well, they put
Brother,
they
black
put that
people
jug
could read
there.
and write.
Put
They
it in
put
that.
that
That's
jug.
inaccurate
Hold
statement.
on, hold on. One
Black
mic,
people
y'all.
could
One
read
mic.
and write.
They
One
put
mic,
that
y'all.
they put that jug there, so when that person had just those jugs, they just kind of like link, because that is, I believe, an African thing. But what they did was they buried the Indians or the people from India. They buried them in the corridors. They'd have a shaman come in and do things to it, and put a cap on it, bury it.
So my theory about the jugs, and I'm glad you're on this topic. The jugs that were buried, they actually found that Yoruba people that came to America in 1100 AD, they came here and they did trips here to bring back crops from here. So a lot of us did go over there.
Yeah.
I don't think, because remember these clay things, these they were very found in the Yucatan. So when you look at it, remember we were more, not saying that we did things a little bit more earlier than them. Let's just put it that way. So if
Could this be something that
slave. I really hate when we we bring up these stories that reference to us being slaves. You know, that's badgering to our mind, and it's not fair and it's not right. It's very annoying, even though it might seem tedious to some, but to me it's not. It's very annoying for someone to keep talking about this slave stuff, slave stuff, slave stuff. Let's talk about the other things.
Okay, let me
I
ask
can't
him a
hear him.
question. Let me ask him a question. So sir, you just to understand, do you understand the history of like what happened here? Do you believe that, we came on slave ships?
Who you talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Mom?
hmm
I'm just telling you, my father was Malcolm X's assistant
I'm
minister.
just
That's
no,
all
I
I
asked
have
the
to say.
question.
That's all I had to say. Whatever,
Mean, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
So what
what
is
does that mean?
He on African Wi-Fi, so I can't hardly hear
That
him.
means my great grandfather was named Butcher Bottoms. He was a slave in 1822.
Okay.
So what does that mean, brother? I'm sorry. I really got to understand, what does that mean to the our history, everyone, the whole total history of America, and your great grandfather, maybe.
What do you mean by
Um,
phenotype?
watch your mouth and stay TikTok friendly.
Let me tell you something.
Hold on,
What
dude.
you,
Who you? Hold on.
I got it.
What?
I
Grown
got,
You
woman,
got?
what
All
to
right.
do?
hold
All right. Go ahead.
on.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Receipt. You got it.
And I know that voice too. Like, stop playing with us. All right.
Okay,
I
so
asked you a
let's hear.
question, meaning, hold on. I asked you a question, meaning, what is
No, I
oh my
said I wasn't
God.
talking to you.
You just want to get kicked out. You don't want to
No,
share. You don't want to share.
let me fit. Hold on.
Finish. Y'all let her finish. Hold on.
It's okay, goddesses, and I ain't trying to
Gotcha.
sign the y'all, and I know who he was referencing it to you too, and I apologize for stepping in, but that shit just pissed me off. I was actually addressing the buddy up
You was
here at the
pissed off
top,
before
and then I
we got on
wasn't
this
talking to
panel.
you. I wasn't talking to you. See what I'm saying? I wasn't talking to you. Now, fuck it. Let me talk to you now. What do you mean on your specific meaning of phenotype? Because what I understand, right, and what I know for a fact, when it comes to Africans and when it comes to original Americans, we have different phenotypes, bone structures, skull structures, neck to shoulder ratios, right? Our babies come out with these quote unquote Osiris marks. African, they don't.
Our teeth.
So I just want to say this. I just want to address her with, in regards to what she said. Yes, you're right. We do no.
You said, hold on,
I'm
hold on.
agreeing with her.
No, you don't get a chance.
Let me
You made a
respond.
statement. No, you have to wait till I respond because you spoke to me. Let the goddess.
I'm not now. I'm
you,
speaking
but
to
I
her
want to respond to what
respectfully.
you said originally. No, you asked me a question, so I'm gonna answer it. And before you get to the next one, let's do that. Can we stick to one thing at a time? Is that okay?
Oh, you had asked him a question before me?
That's being
Both of you
arrogant.
just want to pontificate on this panel. That's all you want to do is pontificate.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Are you
All right, hold on. What is going on here?
Let's
What is?
see.
No. I got this. What's going on here? What's going on here?
I want to pontificate. That's all I want to do.
He asked me a question, Darvid. Actually, he asked me a question. It was a rude question. Let me say that. To me, it was rude. He asked me a question, and then, just like I did, Receipt Goddess thought it was rude. So she responded. I never responded to it yet. I just muted and let her respond to him. So then he went to asking me something else. He wanted to address me directly because of my arrogance, I guess. So I said, wait a minute, let me answer the first question you asked, and that's kind of where we're at. And he's arguing now because he didn't want me to answer the first question. I guess he wants to proceed. I don't know. So just to clarify what happened.
Look, you inadvertently got triggered because of what I said about phenotype specifically. I was talking about the largest organ on the body, which is your skin. Yes, we do have some kind of connection to Africans over there. So, I mean, what are you saying?
Just because of the skin?
You act like
Just
we're
because
not being.
hold on, one
face,
second. One second,
face
time out. Just because of skin, we're connecting them just because of skin.
I mean, we're all being persecuted because we're black.
Hold on,
because
one second. Time
we're all
out.
classified as black. Am I not?
Because of skin,
am I?
we're all. Hold on.
Let's just pause. Everybody pause.
Hold on. Are Aboriginal Australians African because they get dark? Are Indians? Are people from India? Some of them are darker than us.
Yeah,
are they African?
They would classify them as BLK. If we were in Jim Crow, they would treat them all the same. They would be getting strung up and strange fruited like everyone else. So what are we talking about?
But most of them weren't even here during Jim Crow. So what type of point is that?
I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking. Come on now, let's not
hypothetically speaking. Hypothetically
I'm just
speaking.
saying, like
why are we speaking hypotheticals? Why are we speaking hypotheticals? Why are some dark? Hold on. Why are there some dark skinned Africans, right, that are classified as white?
You just want to pontificate.
I'm not pontificating. Let's be honest here. Why are there dark skinned Africans?
Pontificate means?
I'm not pontificating shit. Yes, I know what it means. I'm not pontificating shit.
Mean?
I'm not. Stop getting off top. Stop deflecting. Answer my question and stop deflecting. Stop deflecting. Answer the fucking question.
I asked you first.
No, stop deflecting, dude.
How to spell pontificate?
Stop. Now you're being condescending like a dumbass. Like you follow me, dickhead. You follow me and you're on my live, dickhead. Get off my stage now. Niggas be fans and shit. Now they want to act condescending.
Lord.
Yeah, why do y'all deduce being melanated or black, right, to going through some hardships, right? Why do you guys do that? Oh, they all gonna treat us the same because we're dark skinned and have melanin. What? You sound like a foreigner. Only foreigners talk shit like that. Why is it nothing positive? Right? Look at your phenotype. That's how you're connected. You know we're connected to Africa because we got melanin in our skin. What?
I think he was trying to protect me.
Protect you from what?
From the question.
Wow. But the phenotype, the question about do I know my phenotype is really absurd because first off, I can look in the mirror and know my phenotype every day. That was just an ignorant question. That's why I said it was ignorant. There was nothing to defend with you, David, because I didn't get on you. I didn't say anything to you. It was just rudeness on his part. He thought he was getting up here to say something. He must not know what a phenotype is. For him to ask me that question, do you know your phenotype? I mean, that's a child would know their phenotype. Like, what kind of question is that? Like, what are you talking about?
When he got off the mute, right? So I asked him a question, right? I'm like, so he got off the mute as she was having a conversation with the guy up at the top, telling him, what do you mean? You don't know your phenotype? Like, first of all, I asked him, because I did get offended. I said, so what's your perception of phenotype? And then, of course, just like I was about to name call, you're going to say skin, right?
parents, their grandparents. You don't know their history. How the fuck you gonna take a story, right? That was percepted, and I'm gonna say that shit because I know it don't make no fucking sense. Since y'all don't make no sense, I'm gonna say percepted. 1779, but it was using a different understanding. A lot of our history was changed around 1880. Okay, so my whole thing is this:
Stop throwing this African word when you motherfuckers don't even know what this African word really is. First of all, it wasn't even applied to a goddamn continent or a country until the 19 fucking hundreds. Let's keep that 100, right? Number two, you have to understand who created this African context. Okay, Pan Africans did. Pan Africans are a group of people who got together to come up with Pan Africanism. But guess what? They came together to talk about Pan Africa when nobody who started it was from fucking Africa. That don't get you to think. Nobody from Africa was a part of that shit. They're called member states. Let's keep that 100. So stop trying to tell people Africa, Africa, Africa. Fuck out of here. Because y'all scream about a place, right, that you don't even want to fucking be. How is you flossing your flag on this soil when we have been there and opened up our fucking arms to you? That's so disrespectful. Stop talking about what you think for fucking debate. I'm tired of these weird people coming up here trying to tell us who the fuck we are. Knowing damn well y'all not doing no DNA test. See people, you're not questioning these natives. Don't fucking question us. But since you are gonna do that, I'm glad I'm exposing y'all ass. Let's just talk about y'all rites of passages. Yeah, let's talk about what it takes for y'all to become men, right? What the fuck going on at these places? Let's talk about how over half of your population is under the age of 18. Let's talk about how the fuck y'all not going back home and fixing that. Stay out of our business.
That I got. They question the needle way more than y'all TikTok pretend. Come up here, Faith. Why you hiding in the goddamn chat? You either come up here or get muted. Matter of fact, I'm gonna mute him because he's been yapping for a while. Mute.
Thomas making these weird remarks, like ignorant. I'm talking stuff that just don't even make sense, and they thinking they being smart. It's like, don't you know how foolish you look, and like we even care?
Hop up here, NBA.
There was a lot of infighting with the Nation of Islam.
That's right.
But also too, a lot of mixed up information.
That too.
So it's a lot of clicks. So like I said, we could always agree to disagree. And that's pretty much it, man. I don't think no one in here needs to be. When you talk about phenotype, it is kind of disrespectful because you're saying a whole monolithic thing. It's kind of like what the white people say. It's like, oh, you just look like African. That's kind of derogatory because you're taking the continent of people of different tribes that look next door to each other look different. Just like in America, we look different from each other. Like I said, Darwin and I, we look totally different. The only thing we probably got in common is our teeth, our Indian teeth.
Well, let me add something about Malcolm X, right? First of all, let's just keep it real. Malcolm X and his bloodline, right, is from America. Nothing Africa about him.
That's right.
and we have done his genealogy. Okay. Now, number two, right? What Malcolm X ended up finding out was all of the bullshit that was going on with that nation. Okay. Because to be honest with you, I'm going to say this politically correct, right? I don't give two F's about none of these religions because they all throw away the matriarch. Sorry.
But
Not sorry.
the way you
Number two, let me finish. Number two, I don't know who in their right mind thought it was okay to sit up here and try to belittle women that way, to remove the woman, to tell the woman that you can have what I don't even want to talk about religion at this point. So if you want to quote Malcolm X, let's talk about who unalived him. Wasn't it the people in the same nation?
No,
Stop.
it wasn't.
Stop.
I'm telling you, I know.
Sir, I already know what you're gonna go through. I know what you're gonna say. Oh, it was the FBI.
I'm not
and all
even
this
gonna
stuff.
tell you.
They were threatening
I
him.
can't tell you. I
He knew
cannot
what.
tell you that.
Hold up, sir. I got his interview, so don't interrupt me again. Since you want to quote Malcolm X, because a lot of things I just don't understand how y'all want to take history and then use that for y'all weird talking points.
I don't think you understand.
How you gonna tell me, sir? What do you mean? You don't think I understand? Matter of fact, enlighten me.
My father did the
What I
speech
don't
before he
understand.
was assassinated. That's how close they are.
Okay,
His
let's not use that
secretary
word.
is my-
Let's not
his
use
sec-
that word.
His
TikTok is for
secretary's daughter
entertainment,
is my
educational.
sister.
I said, don't hold on. TikTok is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Can y'all put fruits in the track? Can you use pew pew or something? Go ahead.
My sister was his secretary's
What that mean?
daughter. I'm that close. I can't tell you those things. I answered one thing and that's it. Because
Jamal, are you a Freemason?
I've been asked, but no.
Or you've been asked to be asked to swear?
I've been asked many times, and I don't know why I've been asked many times. I mean, guys with like belts with jewelry all over them. I don't know why. I'm approached.
And you always said no.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what was your what point you were trying to make.
Yeah, I always.
So
I'm
what
trying
don't
to
I
make the point that
understand?
you're saying that
Hold
you
on,
can't.
hold on. No, hold on. What I don't understand?
Huh? No, somebody's talking to me about Freemason. They always approach me. I mean, you're talking about guys with these weird golden or diamond embezzled belts that would come to me and ask me to become a Mason.
First of all, you can't become a Mason because that's the Masons. You talking about the Freemasons.
Well, I'm just answering what that gentleman asked me.
Well, I was asking you what I don't understand. I haven't gotten an answer yet.
What don't you understand?
You said it out your mouth. You said,
What?
I don't understand.
What you're saying? What are you asking?
Never mind. This is the
I don't know
reason
what
we
you
have
just.
to. Hold on. It's okay.
What
It's
you
okay.
asked.
It's okay. Because you said, as I was talking, you said I don't understand. So
Okay.
let's just forget about it. Let bygones be bygones. I just want to make an announcement because I know other people want to talk. This is the reason why I tell y'all we have very beautiful light-skinned goddesses that don't come from a mixed breed, right? They come from a original American bloodline, right? And they have neuromelanin in their brain. Okay, we got reds, gingers, you know what I'm saying? Melanin in their brain. Okay, and that just lets me know when it comes to these conversations that the shit is real.
That's all I wanted to say.
I don't understand what you were saying and what direction you were going with that.
What I said. What I said was this: how is it possible that a very light skinned, not a recessive, but a very light skinned goddess or a god in America that's always been in America, right? How is it possible that they can have neuromelanin in their brain, but a very dark skinned person cannot? I mean, there's possible that a dark skinned person don't have neuromelanin in their brain. Do you know what neuromelanin is, right?
Yeah, it's like melanin on the brain.
No. I mean, what What does it do? Like, what's the special thing about it, sir? Do you know? If you don't, I can help.
Please tell him. Yeah, please tell me.
Okay, neuromelanin. Okay, neuromelanin is the ability, right, to actually have a understanding that you don't need a book, right? You don't need a preacher or something to tell you what's going on with your direct connection to the quote unquote most high, your ancestors. You feel me? So basically, right, neuromelanin is so important, right? Because we have some people who are born without it or a very, very small piece, but really it's you don't have it because phenomelanin and uromelanin mix up the.
You see, these people out here, these doctors and these scientists love to lie and do drip drop information. So my whole thing is this.
Neuromelanin is important. Neuromelanin is what's on stock, but they don't want to tell you that. So it's the plasma. Yes, it's the carbon too. So do you understand? Or do I need to? I don't really want to go down that road. Why don't you just look into it? Or I could pull up some receipts for it.
Yeah, I think I need to read that myself also.
Okay.
Do it a little bit deeper.
Okay. That's a good thing. All right, I'm moving on.
True. What's up? I just came back. Who we got up in here?
Y'all tap the live. It's been at 70K. Let's get this to 75K. And stop disrespecting the women in the chats, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all up out here. Don't disrespect none of the women on the panel. The men can hold themselves down. Well, the women can too. But stop playing with us.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that Moore song is stuck in my head, Joe. That's Susan. What's up, C3? That Moore song is stuck in my head.
And my bad, no, I didn't mean to try to silence you or any goddesses on this panel. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting back, you know, and I just don't, I almost crashed the fuck out. So.
Suspected.
Good.
If anybody else wants to come up, feel free. I get up in the morning. Yeah, it has me laughing. What's up, Big Creek? The Moore song. You're more brother.
Romantical. No.
Islam. How's that shit doing?
Honestly, I honestly wish that Malcolm went into the Moore Science Temple instead of going in another direction.
Who?
Malcolm.
Oh, wow. That's cool. What happened when he went to Mecca?
Went to Mecca, there are certain things that he wanted to do, but when he went to Mecca, he wanted to, let's say, like become someone different, and plus to cool out from all of the hectic stuff that was happening to him in America, more than anything.
Let's be honest.
Because
what
was.
What happened when he went to Mecca? What did he see?
He saw the pyramids. He went on the tour.
No, he saw that those people didn't look like us. He saw a lot of BS, and that's why the nation was pissed off at him because he didn't want him to go there.
I can tell you if you want me to tell you what he said. If you want. That's only if you want. He was trying to get out of town, first of all. He got money from his sister. He left because things were hot. He got first-rate treatment from everybody in Africa. In fact, there were certain things that he said no to. He said no to the money that they wanted to give him. He said no.
You know what? I'm about to probably just go ahead and get off the panel because I'm tired of fucking lying and shit. This shit pissing me the fuck off.
I'm about to start.
Like, I'm sick of this shit, bro. Like, he literally on straight fucking cap. Don't.
No,
do
I'm not.
shit.
I'm trying to tell you the truth.
I don't. You ain't got to tell me none of that shit because all that shit's cap. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was probably gonna wrap this up anyway.
Yeah.
It's been
Truth
been
hurts.
cool, y'all. Nah,
Yes,
it's been
it does.
cool, y'all. And what truth? What truth is he talking about? I was about to say. Oh, he
Man,
did.
that shit just pissed me off of that. Darn it, bro.
Yeah, I had checked out for a bit, but I'm about to wrap this live up. Y'all take it easy. If y'all are going live,
Can you too?
Anybody else want to get blocked today? Because I don't care about none of that. For real.
That yo shit was getting on my nerves too, like damn lol. What's up, man? FR.
What up?
Are
What up?
you okay? For real.
I'm tired of hearing that shit. I'm turned it off.